What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another profile here on TCGU University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be sharing an Elena deck profile submitted by Travis TNT Tangeman. Let's jump into it. All right, so this is Elena. She is a 5-hand size character with 34 health. She is one of my favorite Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers characters. She has a static that says, after your turn begins, you may add the top card of your deck to your staging area face down. Let's talk about that ability real fast. That happens before you ready, review, or draw your cards. I've got 2 in hand. Before I do anything, I build my 1. You got to make sure you do it in that order. You do not ready, review, draw. Oh, now I guess I'll build. It has to be in the correct order, or else I'm going to come over to your house and beat you up. She also says enhance, remove the top card of your deck from the game. This attack gets, or your attack gets +1 speed for the block modifier. Sorry, it gets speed equal to the block modifier. And then enhance, your attack gains 1 damage for each resource symbol that it shares with the character. So chaos, fire, and good. The only there aren't any attacks in this deck that have all 3. We only have 2. So the most we get is 2 extra damage. But it's possible we can get a ton of speed, +3 speed on that burst ability. So let's just jump into it. So playing our assets, we have got the White House. The reason it's in this deck, honestly, is so that we don't get revoked. Revoke being a 5 diff is kind of rough, or revoke being a 4 diff is kind of rough, especially later in the chain. The R commit after a card is added to our staging area during the combat phase does not work with Elena's ability. It has to work by adding a different thing, because Elena's ability does not happen during the combat phase. It happens during the before the ready phase, after your turn begins. It happens instantly, and so we cannot add one, and then even if we could, we would commit it and then draw one, and then draw the rest of our hand, right? And so, honestly, this is in here just purely for disruption. It is not a combo piece. It is not a game plan card whatsoever. Put there we go. We're playing 1 Shishio. Shishio is a card that says, if my attack is blocked, add it to my staging area face down, or destroy foundation. My stun or weapon attack gains +2 damage. This card's really neat. It's interesting. It's also just like a solid asset that we can pick it up with one of our other cards. And then our last one is Spiritual Shooting Ring. This card's really neat. Commit, flip your opponent as the top card of the deck to their card pool, and then remove, double this ranged attack's damage. So if we've got a really gnarly ranged attack and it's really beefy, we're just like, oh, actually, it's lethal. With all the speed that Elena gives, plus the effects on our cool cards, this card can get really scary really fast. On our attacks, we're playing 3 Shin Ryukan. The reason this card is in this deck is honestly just to combo off. We want to be able to stack and extend our turn a little further. It gets speed and damage. It gets 2 damage because of Elena. It gets extra speed because of Elena, and then it gets extra speed or damage depending on what you need from itself. I wanna combo off and try and play as many cool cards as possible. We're playing a triple Stretch Kick. Stretch Kick is a utility. It is a combo. It's a game plan card. It says, if this attack has received a speed or damage bonus, my next attack gets +2/+2. So with Elena, it's going to get a damage because it shares the fire symbol. So it's now a 4 low for 5. And then with Elena, we random the top card of our deck in order to give it some speed. And normally it's going to get at least 1, probably 3. And so it is a 7 low for 5. And then my next one gets 2/2. If it's another Stretch Kick, it gets a 7 low for 5 plus the other 2. So it's a 9 low for 7. And so you can just Stretch Kick people to death with Elena, which makes sense because of the capoeira she does. Here is the best card in the deck. This is Technical Sphere. So Technical Sphere is the bread and butter. This is Travis's favorite card in the whole game. You choose 1 attack in your remove from game pile, which we're removing stuff with Elena. This attack gains all abilities and keywords on the printed keyword ratings on the card. Wow, what am I saying? Basically, what this is this is a 4 additional cards of whatever cool attack you have removed. Is it a Stretch Kick? Yeah, we'll copy it, and the next one gets 2/2. Are you in deadlock? You'll burn 2. Now this is a kick. This is my main target for my Spiritual Shooting Ring. This card is ranged. This is ranged. I get this real gnarly because of the cool abilities that I have, and then I kill you for it. Every attack in our deck is a good target for Technical Sphere. So for the rest of the attack lineups, I'm just gonna leave one of these out here, and I want you just to pay attention to the cool combos with Technical Sphere. We've got double Leg Shredder. Leg Shredder says after it's removed, ready a foundation. So if I rip it off the top of the Elena, I get the ready a card, or if I use another card that we have in our deck to rip it, we just get to do some cool stuff. Yeah, this card's a game plan card. It just lets me try and extend a little further. We're playing one Dragon Flare. This is exclusively just to hit with off of Technical Sphere. Playing Dragon Flare on a 5 diff is very, very good. And your opponent loses 2 vitality for each of their momentum. If they are a Hiei, or if they are just like trying to hoard up a bunch of momentum to try and maybe kill you like an Alurophobia, as this tournament did, this card just is a deterrent for them not to do that. It's also got a really good 0 low block. Sucks for the Elena, gets +0 speed, but like it is a good for the block. We're playing Double Consumption. This is the second card that is most important when it comes to Elena. This card says, if your printed hand size is less than your opponent, you may play enhance abilities printed on this card up to 3 times this enhanced step. But let me explain how this works. So I'm going to play Technical Sphere with a Consumption removed. I'm going to enhance on Technical Sphere, and I'm going to copy the abilities on Consumption. That means I have played the abilities on Technical Sphere, 1 time. Technical Sphere now has a static that says if my hand size is less than yours, I now get to play it 2 more times. If I've got these other cool cards removed, I can then copy them in order to do this. Otherwise, I could just use Consumptions and pop 3 cards into my card pool in order to burn you for 2 for each. This is the other half of the cool combination and making this the most value thing, saying that giving it the reason Spiritual Shooting Ring is such a good KO card. These 2 cards combine together very, very, very well if you are a fire deck that is low hand size. So keep that in mind. I want to copy as many of these cards as possible, like this one. Being able to copy this card 3 times is not a fair thing, or being able to copy this card 2 more times is not a fair thing to do. I'm going to draw 2, you draw 2, and it gets stun X, multiple X, equal to the number of cards in your hand. So this card lets you draw extra cards. The issue is that it does check a 1, so we do have to be careful. But we get to mitigate that 1 check by building cards on every turn. Yeah, we're a 5-hander, and that's fine, but building that extra card face down in order to push through and make sure that our checking 1 does not debilitate our whole turn, like this is what Elena's all about. I want to build as many cards as I can so I can play 3 or 4 Technical Spheres and copy as many cool things off of Consumption as I want to. This card just lets you get there. The second best thing to copy is Missile Launcher. Enhance, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. This deck gets +4 speed and +4 damage. Super rad, especially when giving speed and damage with Elena. It has 2 of her symbols, so it gets 2 damage by itself, gets extra speed, and then you mill 4 whichever one you feel you need. Do I need more speed? Do I want more damage? With Elena, I milled a 3. Well, I mean, it's a 6 low for 8 already. Let's go ahead and just make it 6 low for 12. In addition to that, stun 2 on this Technical Sphere, milling my extra 4, like these being able to, with Consumption, copy the Missile Launcher 2 more times. Yeah, I'll mill 8 and just blow you out. It happens. It happens. That is it for our attacks. We're going to move on to our foundations. These are in no particular order, but I'm just going to talk about them all as they go. We're playing 3 Wishing Ward. This card says flip, mill 3. Your opponent discards a momentum. This is just a disruption card. I don't want you to have that momentum. That is an extra bullet in your chamber that you don't get. In addition to that, it mills 3 cards, which is super important in our deck. We're playing 4 Inhuman Speed. This card says if my opponent attempts to gain life, I cancel it, and then my attack gets +X speed, X equals the momentum. It's a really gnarly 0/5. It's some good spam. It's Scott Summon's favorite card in the whole wide world. And its ability stops characters from gaining life, so versus things like Gil, it's fairly good. You should be testing this card if you have not already. We should play 3 Explosive Acrobatics. Is it only 3? Wowzers, it's only 3. This card says remove a card in my discard pile. This attack is -1 speed. Wow, look at all these cool attacks that I'm going to remove in order to make Tech Sphere and Consumption work. My first thing is I'm going to remove Consumption, and then I'll remove Coffee Samba. Well, now my Tech Sphere is 2 Coffee Sambas. Very, very strong card. -1 speed doesn't necessarily matter. It's a game plan card. It's not a defense card. We're playing 3 Goro's Victory Pose. This is an aggressive card, honestly. During my Tech Sphere play, the first thing that I do is I flip Goro's Victory Pose so I can't be revoked. Even if they want to play through the White House, this just says that they don't get to do that for sure. This is a guaranteed I get to do my things. Really, really strong ability. And if they want to try and revoke this so they can play a second one, they still have to get through the White House. Playing the 4 of the Azure Nightmare. This is just a combo piece. It is aggressive. It just makes me want to keep going further and further. Blocking wise, not too terribly much. I don't have enough cards in my hand in order to make the block happen defensively. This is just I need to discard this foundation in order to try and kill you with another attack. I need to ready this card back up. In addition to that, it's got a little bit of burn. That's card's fine. Card's good. We're playing double protecting Yukina. This card is just throw hate, honestly. Discard, ER, discard a momentum after you block this an attack. The attack deals no damage. It's got a 1 mid block, means it blocks everything. Throws are really scary, especially in the next format. So you should be looking at playing some sort of throw hate in your deck. Triple Guardian Spirit Sword. At the very beginning of this video, I said that we wanted to pick up our assets, and so that's why we have three separate ones. It also is a -3 speed. Purely a defensive card, just really gnarly stats. If you haven't picked up a playset of these, you definitely should before the next Soul Calibur set hits. We're playing 3 Overly Dramatic. Our flip after your opponent plays an ability that would decrease the damage or increase the speed, cancel its effects. That includes on characters, that includes on Allurophobia, that includes on almost every card gets hit by this card. This is just a response flip. Say no to that cool number change. We're playing 4, I Feel Violent. It's very easy to get a bunch of attacks removed with Elena's ability as well as the Mad Pro Explosive Acrobatics. And so this just says flip 4 speed. So now on my missile launcher, I can just flip, give it 4 speed, and then I mill my 4 and I'll guarantee give it damage because they're not going to block it when it's got the stun to Elena speed, I Feel Violent speed. Card's very, very strong in this deck. One of her strongest tools. We're playing 3 Folktale Storyteller. This is one of the coolest cards in the deck because it mills 3 and it also builds down because of, you remember that all the way back here? The White House. This is our only White House trigger in our deck. I want to be able to build this down and then draw my card off of it. It's a little cute 2-card combo, but honestly, it's just so that I can mill 3 cards and keep building, keep attacking. It's also really good versus Breaker. We're playing the best card in this deck, Energy Absorption. After you take damage from an unblocked attack, you check a 4 and you gain 1 vitality. Only playable if your hand size is 1 or less. This character has got 34 health. That's a million. That's so much health. And then our discard once per turn, the attack is +2 or -2 damage. We always pick -2. The +2 doesn't almost is never relevant because of how we blow people out with Tech Sphere, but maybe it is. But this card just keeps you alive. It's got a good 3 low block for Elena for extra speed, and it's putting cards in our discard pile for Explosive Acrobatics to be more alive. Very, very strong card. And then on the other hand, we've got the second Saintly Beast. This card did damage. This one does speed. Mill the top 3, gets +2 or +2 or -2 speed, and then Deadlock enhances your opponent flips a foundation. You can just, with 2 of these on every one of my attacks and your attacks, your whole foundation area is blank. You're not allowed to build a Deadlock versus character. And then my last 2 cards are the Dark Side of Karma added to of. This is Fire's version of the Revoke keyword. Response remove after an enhanced ability on a non-character card is played. Cancel it. Good protection. Maybe they play a damage reset, or maybe they want to seal or commit or whatever my character. No, knock it off. All right, everybody. So this was Fire Elena playing the Consumption loop with Tech Sphere. If you like the content, please go out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity to support us out there. Help us keep the lights on, get this cool equipment for you guys. If you like the campus championships, they are live every day at 11 a.m. with the losing deck going out at 1 p.m. that following afternoon. Thank you guys for supporting us throughout this whole first season of the Campus Championship. We've got way more to come. More characters are coming into the rotation, and we're excited to play some more games for you. So from all of us here at TCG University, stay learned.